Guys, morning. Are you able to see my screen?
Evening. No.
Yes.
Yeah. So introduction to AWS EC2, benefits of using AWS EC2, Amazon EC2 use cases, AWS EC2 pricing model, AWS instance type, Amazon mission image, selecting EC2 instance, AWS regions and availability zones, launching Amazon EC2 instance, and step by step. So guys, so what we discussed yesterday, regions, availability zones, and data centers, right? So what is AWS services, guys?
EC2 relational database.
Yeah.
RDS, CloudWatch.
Yeah. So what are the cloud? What are the cloud services?
Cloud services we have PaaS,
SaaS.
Okay. Cloud environments. Hello, guys. Guys.
Hi.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, all right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So yesterday we discussed what is the pricing models and what are the cloud services, cloud providers, cloud environments. So what is a region, what is availability zone, what is data centers and edge locations. So everything we discussed and we covered, right? What is cloud computing? What is AWS? So today the agenda is introduction to AWS and benefits of using AWS EC2, Amazon EC2 use cases, Amazon EC2 pricing models, Amazon EC2 type, Amazon mission image. So mission image means AMI, selecting EC2 instance and AWS regions and availability zones, launching Amazon EC2 instance, a step by step. So introduction to Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2, which is also known as a Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud, provides resizable computing capacity in the Amazon Web Services. Amazon EC2, which is also known as Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, provides resizable computing capacity in the Amazon Web Services. So it is a simple web service interface to obtain and configure capacity with the minimal friction. So it provides you to with complete control of your computing resources and lets you run on Amazon a proven computing environment. EC2 is the core service of AWS cloud platform and launched in 2006. So when it was launched, so EC2 is the core service of AWS cloud platform and launched in 2006. So these are the virtual servers. These are the virtual servers. These are the virtual servers. I already told you, right, guys? What is virtual machine? Yeah. So these are the virtual servers are a virtual machines. A virtual servers are a virtual machine. So these are the virtual servers, also called as an instance. Virtual servers are also called as an instance. So we can use these instances pay per use basis. Pay per use a basis. A virtual instance is called as, a VM is called as, guys, instance in AWS. So virtual machine is nothing but, so in virtualization it is calling as a virtual machine. In AWS it is calling as a, guys, tell me.
Instance.
Yeah, very good. So in virtual machine, in virtualization it is calling as a virtual machine. So in AWS it is calling as a instance. The both a VM or an instance, both are same. Both are same. So we can use this instance pay per use basis, pay as you go. Whenever you use the service, then only we can pay. So benefits of using AWS EC2 instance. Benefits of using AWS EC2: easier and faster. Amazon EC2 reduces the time required to obtain and boot new server instance to minutes. So how much time it will take to create a new instance? Amazon EC2 reduces the time required to obtain and boot new server instance to minutes, allowing you to quickly scale capacity both up and down as your computer requirements change. You got it right? Easier and faster. So if you want a new server, so if you want a new server in the physical environment, a data center, on-premise environment, how much time it will take to get the server? So minimum, so 15 to 20 days, because of first we need to buy a physical Dell PowerEdge hardware. So then, so we can get the code from the data center. So we finalize the code, and so we keep it that sovereign to the data center. Then we can install the OS. Then we can install the platform, something like whatever they want, a DS. So something like a database or a Java or a Tomcat. So minimum it will take a 15 to 20 days. So if you want a server in the, so in the dev environment or a QA environment or a production environment. So but in AWS, so it will get the instance or a server within the minutes. So within the minutes. This is the drawback of the data center. This is the advantage of the AWS. This is the advantage of the cloud environment. Any cloud, not only AWS, any cloud, we can get it a server within the minutes. Guys, you understand? So easier and faster. So the next one is elastic and scalable. What is the elastic and scalable? Quickly add and subtract resources to the applications to meet customer demand and manage costs. Avoid provisioning resources upfront for the projects with variable consumption rates or short lifetimes. What is that? Elastic and scalable. Quickly add and subtract resources to the applications to meet customer demand. So avoid provisioning resources upfront for the projects with variable consumption rates or short lifetimes. So high availability. Amazon EC2 provides a developer the tools to build resilient applications and isolate themselves from common failure scenarios. So it is, so they are providing high availability, cost, cost effective, consume only the amount of compute, storage, and IT resources needed. So consume only the amount of compute, storage, and IT resources needed. No long-term commitment, minimum spend or upfront investment is required. So Amazon EC2 typical use cases: application hosting, content delivery, and e-commerce, media hosting, and web hosting. Web hosting. EC2 pricing models. EC2 pricing models. Pre-usage tier. Means, so there is a, in the public cloud, there is a pre-usage tier. Pre-usage tier. I will show. You see something like a launch instance. I'm launching a instance. Something like my US class. You see, it is the AMI. What is this? I browse more AMIs. AMI is nothing but a Amazon a mission image. Mission image is nothing but a, so something like you downloaded a CentOS ISO, right? The same way, all the ISOs are there. You see, free tier is eligible. Free tier is eligible. So something like this is the free tier is eligible. So free tier is eligible. So these are the free tier services. You can use the free tier services with a free tier environment. Free tier environment. So free tier on-demand instances. On-demand instances. So one is the free tier usage. The other one is the on-demand instances. Start and stop instances. Stop and start instances. Free usage tier, on-demand instances, start and stop instances whenever you like. Costs are rounded up to the nearest hour. Nearest hour. What are the pricing models? Free tier, on-demand, and reserved instances. Pay upfront for 1 or 3 years in advance. 1 or, so these are the reserved. So pay upfront for 1 or 3 years in the advance. Best practices. Unused instances can be sold on a secondary market. Unused instances can be sold on a secondary market. Stop instances. Specify the price you are willing to pay. Specify the price you are willing to pay, and instances get started and stopped without any warning as the market changes. So kind of a like condor. So dedicated instances, charge of instances. How many types? Free tier, free usage tier, on-demand instances, reserved instances, spot instances, spot instances. Spot instance. So AWS instance types. AWS instance types. So map to the hardware specification. So map to the hardware specification. Classified based on the CPU, memory, and storage. CPU, memory, and storage. Choice of instance types. Choice of instance types. So what are those? Standard, medium, micro, high memory, high CPU, high IO, cluster compute, cluster GPU. So these are the types. So map to the hardware specification, classified based on the CPU, memory, and storage. CPU. So instance type influences the performance and cost. Performances and cost. These are the instance types. So instance type is mapped to the hardware specification. What are the hardware? 1 CPU, 6 CPU credits, so 1 gig memory, 1 gig memory. So these are the vCPU and CPU and memory. vCPU and memory. So the hardware mapped to the hardware specification. What are the instance types? Instance types T2 micro, T2 small, and T2 medium. T2 micro, T2 small, and T2 medium. I'm selecting the free tier, something like a free tier Amazon Linux. I selected. So first for launching the instances, I'm providing the name of the instance, and I'm selecting the AMI, then instance type. So instance type can be mapped to the hardware or resources. Something like, for example, so what are the resources for this VM? It is a 2 GB RAM, a 2 CPU, hard disk 6 GB, hard disk 100 GB. So these are the resources. So based on these resources, they're divided into the instance type, something like, so need IO, need something like higher memory CPU. So then this is the instance at type. This is the instance based on the CPU, RAM, hard disk. So you call it as a instance type. Call it as a instance type. Something like a OS, ISO image, ISO, CentOS, S7, ISO image, ISO image is calling as a guys, tell me. AMI means Amazon mission image. Amazon mission image. So Amazon mission image and that instance type. Now you got it right, guys. So instance type. So we can select the, here also we have a free tier and something like on demand, a free tier and on demand. So something like a free tier. So T1 micro hardware is 1 vCPU and a 0.612 gig memory. This is the free tier. And T2 nano. So T2 nano is 1 CPU and 0.5 gig memory. So T2 micro also a free tier available. So 1 CPU and 1 memory. 1 CPU and 1 memory. So T2 small. So T2 small means 1 vCPU, 2 gig memory. This is also a free tier eligible. T2 micro. So 1 vCPU, 1 GB memory. 1 GB memory. Something like T2 medium, T2 large, T2 2x large, T2x large, T3 nano, T3 micro, T3 small, T3 medium, T3 large, T3 2x large, T3 x large. So these are the pricing. It's an instance type. Whatever you want, you can use it. I'm using the a free tier one, a T2 micro. T2 micro means 1 CPU and 1 memory. Guys, now you got it right. So instance type is nothing but a resource, hardware resources. So instance type is nothing but a hardware resources. So AMI is nothing but our CentOS ISO image. Guys, now you got it. Guys.
Yes.
Yeah, instance are type. So use cases. A development environment, build servers, code repositories, low traffic web applications, early product experiments, a small databases. So we can use the small type of instances. So something like a M3 medium, M3 large, M3X large, so M3 2X large. So use cases: small and mid-sized databases, data processing tasks that requires additional memory, catching fleets, and for running backend servers for SAP, Microsoft SharePoint, and other enterprise instances. They're using M3 large, M3 medium, M3 2X large. So this is C3 large, C3 X large, C3 2X large, C3 4X large, C3 8X large. Something like 32 vCPU, 60 gig memory, something like SSD, 2 into the 320 use cases. High performance front-end fleets, web servers, on-demand batch processing, distributed analytics, high performance sense and engineering applications, and ad serving and batch processing, and MMO gaming, and video encoding, and distributed analytics. So these are the servers they are using the C3 type of. Something like so R3X R3 large, R3X large, R3 2X large, R3 4X large, R3 8X large. So use case, we recommended memory optimized instances for high performance databases, a distributed memory caches, in-memory analytics, also something like a genome assembling analytics, a larger deployment of a SAP, micro SharePoint, and other enterprise instances. They are using R3X large, R8X large. So Amazon mission image. What is a AMI? Server template or VM image. So it's a VM image. What is that? A VM image. So we install the one VM on, we install the AWS on this VM, right? So they are taking that entire image. The entire image is nothing but a template. The entire image is nothing but a template. So template. So template. So you can take that something like a CentOS template, VM template, and keep it in the AMI. Keep it in the AMI. Server with pre-installed OS and optional softwares. AMI can be launched to create instances, a variety of pre-built AMS in the catalog. So existing AMS can be customized and saved. Something like you are taking a customized, so you're taking a something like a community instances. You are taking a community instances as well as so you can use the you can use the these are the community edition. These are the something like the AWS provided. So my image, you can create your customized image something like in the VM. So in the VM. So in the VM, you installed a CentOS and you install the Java and Tomcat. So you take it this as a AMI. You take it this template as a AMI. So if you launch the instance on this AWS, you don't want to install the Java and Tomcat, because so you create your own image, your own AMI, customized AMI, and install it on the other EC2 services. Install it on the other EC2 services.
Hari,
Yeah.
I have a question. So, is it possible, I know like on Jenkins, right, or Python, Java, Git, right, you can install those things and you can create an image out of it, and the next time you launch the instance, you can use that image, right?
Yes, that is
is it possible to do the same thing for Kubernetes, right? You install all the requirements for Kubernetes as a master, right, in one of the instance.
Yes.
Then you make an image of it, and again next time, whenever you want to launch those Kubernetes like by yourself, can you do it? Is it possible on Kubernetes end, or it's just like for you have to follow the the installation process?
No, so the Kubernetes works with a container, right? So in the container, whatever you want you want a database, you can install the database. You want a Java, you want a Python, whatever you want. So you can install that container. You can install, you can build the image,
Yeah,
container
you can be, yeah.
image. You can build the container image in something like, you can keep it a repository, something like a Docker repository, or whatever the repositories are there. You can keep it that repository, or a JFrog is also one type of repository. You can keep it there, and you can push it to the Kubernetes.
So my question is, like, for example, you have an instance, right? In that instance, you install Jenkins, right? And then you make an image of that instance now, right? You can make an image so that you don't.
Instance is different than container. So container with self
I
of
think
application is a 300 MB. So instance, something like if you need 1 GB of RAM, something like a 100 GB of hard disk, right? So AMI is different than something like a container.
For the custom image, right? We can call that as a custom image, right?
Yes.
If we, and that way, okay.
You can run it on ECS, right? Elastic's container services. There you can use your EC2 instance as a container.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Server template, a VM image comes with the pre-installed OS and optional software. AMA can be launched to create instances. A variety of pre-built AMAs in the catalog. So existing AMAs can be customized and saved, a bundling and independent of a configuration. Every AMA is uniquely identified with ID. Uniquely. So every AMI is uniquely identified with the AMI ID. AMI ID. Okay. Yeah. So launching an Amazon EC2 instance, something like a step by step. So how we can launch instances? First, we need to choose the region, then choose the availability zone, then choose the AMI, then choose the instance type, then configure the security. So it will IEBS, it will take automatically. These are the steps if you want to launch a instance. So launching an Amazon EC2 instance step by step. Sign up for AWS at Amazon console. Apply this service credit you received via email. Create and download key pair. Save it in your home directory. Create a VM via the AWS console. So connect to your newly created VM like this, something like SSH-I, the key pair, and the user and IP address of the VM. So this is the process. So guys, so because right?
Yes, Hari.
Yeah. So we want to create a something like
and Hari, how do we define how large of an instance do we need? Like, who will be the one to let us know that? I mean, like, how do we define if we need an large instance, or of this much size, of this much CPU?
Yeah. Good question. I will tell you that. Yeah, something like so we have an environment. I already told you, right? Environment having a app servers and DB servers, right? So environment having a app servers and a DB server. So something like, so initially they are
OS.
Yeah. So initially there we are installing the OS. Then we can define. This is the application instance. So application instance, right? So in this application instance, something like the transaction, there is no transactions. In the database, we have a huge transactions and a huge amount of data will be storing on the databases, right? So here only we are deploying our application code only. Deploying application code, app code only. But here, so we have a DB something like a DB storage also there. So usually so app server will be a 25 GB default. A 25 GB will be creating something like 8 GB will be creating. So because of the code will be a 500 or 300, or at least I have 1 GB of code, right? So we don't want much amount of CPUs and RAM and storage, because of so this is the app server. So this is the database servers. Everyone store the data into this server, and a transaction, something like so if you sign up your AWS account, so something like it automatically store the data in the database. So when you log into the database, it will get instantly, something like it will get the IO operations, input and output operations will be faster than a normal, right? So then that time we need to take the choose the a type of instances. So who will provide something like a developer provide a instance type and the resource type, whatever the resources they want. So a DB guy,
usually
yeah,
the normal size of the applications, right? Like in an industry standard, right? What
yes.
is normally the size of an application, right? Is it on a is it like a gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, the
Based
size?
on our application, something like a Facebook connecting huge number of people, right, throughout the world. So we need a more capacity of servers. Something like so in India, something like there is a gaming called a rummy gaming. So rummy cycle initially they are started a gaming service, something like so rummy cycle. So initially they don't want a big servers, right? Initially they use something like so that site is only working in the India. This site is only working in India. So then they compare the comparison. So they can take the comparison between, so how much people will will log into this, will accessing that server, something like it.
Yeah.
So at least a 1,000 so initially 10,000 people, so it's max at 1 lakh people. They cancelling, and they will take the decision which type of instance we need to our applications. And the business team, analytics team, and planning team, they are deciding to which size
okay.
of applications, what type of something like a instance type need to.
Yeah. So once they give us, okay, this is the size, we
Yeah,
need that.
definitely. In our request, definitely, if you something like we are provisioning a server, we are provisioning a instance. In that request, they are providing all the details. So region, instance type, and the storage.
Okay.
But I think it's depend also to the input traffic, right?
Yes, that is the different thing. I already told you, right? So something like they are, so 10,000 people, so they are accessing that server in the 10,000 people. So they use a minimal server. So they are accessing 1 lakh people. They are using a, so the depend. Yes, you are good. That is depending upon the traffic.
Okay.
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 Got it, right? So guys, someone can share your screen who are not having the account in AWS. I will show you how we can do it. AWS console login. So AWS management console here. So sign in the console. You have an account or you don't have an account? You have?
Yes, I have account.
Yeah. Who are not having the accounts? First you need to sign up. I have account. Sign into the console. Sign up. Sign up. Yeah. So this is the something like if sign up for the create a free account. You can click that free account. Then you will give the email address and the account name. Then verify the email address. So then there will be something like a 5 steps. There will be a five steps. Can someone share your screen who are don't having? So I will guide you how to do that. Tell me something like Desi or who are Steve, Madhuri.
I have account already.
Okay. Who don't have? Because is there, right? Because do you have?
Yes, Hari, I do have an account. Yeah.
Who are not having the AWS account? Desi?
I don't have, but I don't have PC also right now.
You don't have?
PC, computer.
Okay.
I should have an account, though I haven't used it for a while. There's so much noise where I am, so I can't even try to set it up now.
Yeah, Desi, can you share your screen? I will guide you how we can do it.
Well, I'm with my daughter here, so there's too much distraction. I won't be able to do it.
Okay. Who are? Ahmad, how are you?
I do have an account, sir.
Sorry?
I do have an account.
Who is?
It's a while.
So I don't have. Ahmad, you have?
I don't have, but my PC is not working right now.
Okay. Sam, Abaho, Bayak, Desi, Mayur, Mahil Malvi.
I do have an account, sir.
Who are not having, guys? Malvi, you there? Mahal, Malvi.
I have already account.
Okay.
I think it looks like pretty much a lot of people have already account, right, Hari? So maybe like we can just like I don't know if other people team member agrees.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a demo for the launching the EC2 instance,
Yes.
which is like more important, because this is like just a one-time thing, right? And
Yeah.
much
People,
forward.
guys, please, if you don't have if you don't know how to sign up, you can use these steps. It is an easy steps to sign up the AWS account. So once we sign up the AWS account, something like it is asking, so something like same like it is asking sign in again, something like a sign in console. So AWS console, something like it is asking a root user. So
Yeah.
I'm connecting the root user. And the password, I'm giving that password. So once creating the account, so something like it is asking a credit card or a debit card information. So it will credit 1 rupee, then it automatically added. So while creating an account, guys, you keep it something like a credit card or debit card information, give it to the, so they will credit 1 rupee for so creating a free tier account. So it will be a 1 year free tier account. And so whenever you launch the instance with the free tier eligible, so after your work completion, that you can terminate the instances. So then that is the fund of the free tier environment. So if you are keeping the servers and everything, it will be a chargeable. So the billing information, so the billing will be chargeable, right, guys? Yeah. The services. So what are the services? Now we are learning the EC2 instance. EC2 means, guys, elastic compute a cloud. In that elastic compute cloud, we can launch the instances, right? So we can launch the instances. So I will show you how to launch the instances. What are the steps? Something like we select the region. So what are the region you want? So if you are not selecting any region, it automatically creates in the default region, that is a North Virginia. So US East 1. In the North Virginia is the default location. So if you are not selecting any region, so it automatically creates in the North Virginia region. So something like I'm creating an instance in the North Virginia region, something like my web server or my server I'm creating the server name and I'm giving the AMI. AMI, I already told you guys, AMI is nothing but Amazon Mission Image. So they are providing number of images, something like CentOS, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, Microsoft, Mac, Debian, Ubuntu, AWS, so Windows, so Mac, everything, something like these are the OS images. OS images. I'm selecting a free tier one. A free tier one is nothing but a Amazon Linux 2. Amazon Linux. So this is a free tier eligible. A free tier eligible. Then so we can give the instance type. Instance type means nothing but a resources. So this is nothing but a I'm giving so compare the instances. So here are all the instance types. So we can compare it and we can take it whatever you want, right? So I'm using a free tier eligible. I'm using a free tier eligible. T2 micro is the free tier eligible, free tier. And the key pair. You can proceed with the without key pair, or we create a key pair, new key pair. So something like a key pair is nothing but you can give the my web server. Server is the key pair. Yeah, I will show you why how we can use the key pair and why we can create the key pair. And the network, something like a create a security group or selecting existing group or anyway, something like a create a security group. So first is the name, the second one is AMI selecting, the third one is instance type, the fourth one is key pair, then network settings. So I'm keeping it as a default. So something like allow SSH traffic from anywhere, because of I'm connecting from anywhere. I'm connecting that server from anywhere. I can select them. So configure storage. Storage is nothing but a EBS, elastic block volumes. It automatically take 8 GB if you select a Linux. Okay.
I have a question here regarding the key pair.
Yeah.
You know, is it only the instance that uses the key pair, or yeah, or one key pair is good to connect to all the AWS services, or different services have their own key pair? You know, it has to be generated on each of those services.
So
I think you can choose what key you use on the instance.
yeah. So usually
When you create the instance, you choose the key pair you want to use.
yes. So yeah, because I'm telling you something like every environment, every company, they create a one jump host. What is that?
Yeah, jump host, yeah.
Jump host.
Or a bastion host, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, bastion or jump host. Jump host or a bastion. Bastion host. So this host having the access to anywhere. This host access to any source, something like a computer, any computer. So once you log into the jump host, then you can able to access the every servers from the jump host. So they have a SSH enabled on other instances. So these instances doesn't have access to anywhere. So once you log into the jump host, so then only you can log into the all the servers. Now you got it?
Like basically through tunneling, right? Tunneling,
Yes,
I think we call it
yes,
tunneling, right?
yes. So, something like if you give access to the anywhere, something like a hackers having access to these servers and hack the server, right? So that's the security's purpose perspective. They're creating the jump host. So jump host is enabling to the all the servers to connect. Okay.
Basically, bastion host is connected to the internet, and all these internal servers are in private, right?
Having. Yes. Good. So this is the having a internet access. So these all the all the environment servers are not having the internet. So it connect from the via internet, then it connect from the your something like these are the. So this is connected from the public IP address. Public.
So even to connect to the bastion host, do we use SSH keys, or we use access key ID and secret key? You know, like how do we, you know?
Yeah, I will tell you. So access key secret key is using for the application coding perspective. Most of the, so they are accessing for the application. They are accessing internally for the, so from app servers or DB servers, we need a access. So then that time they are creating the access key and secret key. For connecting the servers, we use the key pair. We use the key pair. Now you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm launching the instance. Launching the instance. A launch instance. So in physical data centers, so we need a one server. How much time it will take to provision or build a server? Yeah, something like a 15 to 20 days. So 15 to 20 days it will take. But in the AWS console, so it will get easily something like a easily and faster because of a minutes. Why? Because of they take the AMIs. AMIs is nothing but a VM mission image, a virtual mission image. It's already installed OS on that a VM template, right?
Yeah. If you use Terraform, then just one command,
Yeah. Terraform apply. You can install. You can launch instance in one click. Something like. So this is the console, and we manually launch the instance in the console, right? So instance successfully, the successfully instance is launched. So what is the name of the instance? My web server, right? My web server. So this is the name of the instance. This is the instance ID. So whenever you create any instance, so it will be identified with the instance ID. So the instance state is running. So instant state is stop, restart, reboot, or terminate. These are the instance states. What are those? So if you want to stop, you can stop it. You can select that. And so if you want stop instance, if you want reboot instance, if you want terminate instances. Okay. So and how you can, so this is the instance states. This is the instance type. So we selected as a free tier one. So that is a T2 a micro. Status checks. So status checks. Yeah. So these are the checks passed. But the T2 micro is initializing. The OS is initializing. Is there any alarms? There is no alarms. Availability zone. So in each availability zones, we created US East 1C. US East 1C. So what is the region? US East 1. In the US East 1 region. So where the server is launched? In the availability zone C. In the availability zone SC. So public DNS. So public DNS and public IP address. Public IP addresses. So you get the instance, something like a details of the instance ID, instance name equal to my web server. So details, instance ID, the host name, so the IP address, so everything, the platform Linux, the key pair. Sorry. EC2. So instances. Yeah. My web server, you can select that to my web server. Something like details. So details, the subnet ID, AMI ID, so monitoring, location, everything will be keep it in the details. The security groups are creating while launching the instance. So something like a security group, so port range all, protocol all, so everything. So everything will be, so anywhere you can connect from this. And then so networking. So networking, public IP address, private IP address. What is the private IP address? The VPC ID. So everything will be showed in the security. So networking and security. Storage. So how much storage? Something like, so I already told you, right? In the Linux file system hierarchy. So where the hard disk information is available. The hard disk information available in the /dev. So here XVDA is the hard disk. So hard disk, something like a how much GB of 8 GB of hard disk volume. Every something like every volume having a unique identification number. So this is attached or detached. So we can use it attached or detached when it was created. So when it was created. So then a status checks. So we can use the status checks and monitoring. So CloudWatch is the monitoring for AWS. So in something like in physical servers, how you are monitoring by using the Nagios is the monitoring tool. But in AWS, so they are predefined a monitoring tool called as a CloudWatch. CloudWatch. In the tags, whatever you want, you can give the tags. So this is the instance to launch the instance. So how we can connect the instance? How we can connect the instances? So if you
Hey,
see
Hari,
here yeah.
so regarding the tags, right?
Yeah.
Can we give a multiple tag on the same instance? Can we have
Yeah, you
assign a
can.
multiple?
Yeah, you can give in the servers. You can give something like a multiple tags, something like a environment, service tier, tags, or something like a Terraform is enabled or not. If you want, you can create a number of something like environment, say sandbox environment or a integration environment. So how we can find out this server is a integration or a something like a sandbox or a production. So in
So
that
the whole idea of having a tag is to
identify.
identify
Yes,
the instance, right?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So something like a here also you can see the dashboard, events, tags, limits, instance types, launch templates, spot instances. So saving plans, reserve, dedicated host, scheduling hosts. So the AMIs, elastic volume, snapshots, life cycle, network and security, load balancing, and auto scale. So these are the options for EC2 computing, EC2 service. So these all are the options. So how you can connect the server? So you can connect the server. So if you click on that server, connect. So you can connect the server in different ways. So one is EC2 instant connect. So the other one is session manager connect. The other one SSH client. The other one's EC2 serial console. Most of the times we are using EC2 instance. This is the new one. So newly launched EC2 connects. It automatically connect from the web browser. So mostly we are using the SSH client. So SSH client, you can use something like we are using a putty. So in Windows, you can use the putty, and you can download the key file, and you can keep it on the putty, and you can connect to the servers. How you can connect? So this is the public DNS. So you can connect the server. So if you use this public DNS, and you can give the FM file to connect the server. So if you are connecting from a Linux to Linux machine by using SSH-I, the PEM key name, a username of the server. When you launch an EC2 instance, it is a default user is created. A default user is and a default normal user is created. That user is EC2 user. EC2 user. EC2 user is the default user for the AWS. In OCI, OPC is the default user for the Oracle Linux. The same way Azure, the same way GCP. What is the default user for the AWS, guys?
EC2 user.
Yeah, EC2 user. So something like how you can connect. So you can use the EC2 user connect. Then you can use the connect. Yeah, you see, so it automatically connect from the web. So this is the one way. So this is the one way. EC2 instance running. So the other way is connecting something like a through SSH client. Through SSH client, how we can connect? So I'm opening that terminal. ls cd wd cd dot cd downloads my web server. So where it is downloaded? Yeah, my web server.pem. My web server.pem is there in the downloads, right? You can verify. SSH -i my web server.pem on the IP address of that server, and the IP address or public DNS name. It is copied and paste it. Yeah, sorry, got it. So what is that? You can give the EC2 -user @ yeah, it's connected, right? So it connecting from the, how we can connect it? So by using SSH -i, so the PEM key and the EC2 user, the user @ a DNS name or IP address, something like SSH -i, something like a PEM key, then user @ something like IP address or host name. Guys, right, guys? So this is the way
Yeah.
we can connect the server. Yeah. So I'm logging as a root. You can do anything. You can do something like a test processing tools, file handling tools. You can run, and you can verify it on the AWS instance also. Guys, got it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we'll continue.
I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.